Hey there, potential Primalista. I am so glad that you've joined me today. And I am going to be bringing to you, over the course of the next hour or so, I'm going to show you how it's possible to build a thriving baking business and turn your passion for health into a viable and meaningful venture that you'll love. I'm going to share with you how I've done this myself and how other Primalistas have as well, and the secrets we've uncovered along the way. And by the end of this info session, you'll have a roadmap for success laid out before you. But before we get to all of that, I should start by introducing myself, and I want to know a little bit about you as well. So let me know what your name is and where you're from in the comments, and I will get back and reply to you. Or if you have a specific question and you're watching a replay, you can send a question to info@primalalternative.com and I'll get right back to you. So I'm Helen Marshall. I'm mum to Sam, who's nearly 13, and Millie, who's just turned 10, and wife to Mike, and we live on the south coast of Western Australia. I'm a former gym instructor, personal trainer, and recruitment manager turned primal health coach, podcaster, speaker, blogger, and founder of the grain-free food range, Primal Alternative. I've taken my passion for wellness and entrepreneurial flair and desire to create a business lifestyle that fits around my family into a successful grain-free food business. Primal Alternative has been established for nearly 5 years now, and I licensed my successful business model for others to use on Boxing Day 2016. And to date, over 140 amazing women across the globe have joined me to help make clean living easier for others. It's really exciting. And if you're in a career that you're not passionate about, or maybe if you're like a nutritionist or a health coach or a personal trainer and not getting enough clients to pay the bills, or you just want to help people improve their health through clean living and do it from the comfort of your own home, then this info session is for you. You might be considering other business models out there, but let me tell you why the Primalista license is different. Only Primal Alternative offers the opportunity for you to create a business that serves you whilst being part of a larger community of other Primal Alternative producers for support, holding yourself accountable, and celebrating success. And Primal Alternative is honoured and delighted to collaborate with industry rock star Pete Evans and Thermomix goddess Jo Whitton in this grassroots movement. The Primalista license is totally different. It's the thing you didn't know you were looking for. But before I get into what makes it stand out, I'd love to know where you're at with your business desires and entrepreneurial aspirations. So what's your inspiration? I've put together a little poll to help me to get to know you better, and also just to really help you search into your why for why you want this business to work for you. So just tell me the answers that resonate most with you. What's the biggest change you'd like to make in your life? Is it that you want to become your own boss? Do you want to contribute to the household finances? Work from home? Choose your own hours? Do you want to follow your passion and make a difference to others? Do you want to be there for your family? Or maybe it's a lifestyle thing, to be able to go to Pilates on a Tuesday morning? Or do you want to do something that's just for you, that's going to challenge you and help you grow? Great. Well done. Now let's do the same thing for this question. What's the biggest obstacle to making that change happen? Is it money constraints? Time constraints? Maybe it's lack of know-how, or family duties, or maybe it's your current job. Or is it fear, self-doubt, or lack of confidence? So keep working out your responses and I will tally them up. And I hope you'll stay with me right through the entire info session, because I'm going to be giving away a really cool bonus towards the end of this event. So make sure you hang around so that you know exactly what it is. But first things first, during this info session, I'm going to be showing you the easiest and most affordable way to start a business in the food industry, the critical component missing in most new business ventures, the secret that will set you apart as a knowledgeable Primalista and get your customers results, and how to brand and build a successful whole food business. How to run your business with the same techniques and tools that I use in my business, how to be confident and inspired to run the wellness business of your dreams, how to easily attract new customers and scale your business, and how that being backed by an already successful brand can bolster and build your business, and how you can do it all in 3 months or less. Now, I definitely don't want to take away from your valuable time. So let me be clear who this info session is for. If you're fueled by an entrepreneurial desire, driven by a passion to be a positive change in the world, dedicated to living your best life, determined to maximize your earning potential while remaining true to your calling, and willing to put the effort in to make it happen, then stick around because you're in the right place. You should also stick around if you're at any stage of becoming or working in the health and wellness world, or maybe just starting out. You want to make an impact, but you're not sure where to begin. You're frustrated and scared and confused or feeling lost. You don't have the knowledge yet, but you want to share the principles of ancestral health and nutrition and how to make it easy for folks. Or maybe you're confident about your foodie, nutrition, and baking skills, but lack those critical sales and marketing techniques. Perhaps you're feeling anxious but optimistic. You know where you want to go, but you need the Primalista recipes and resources and sisterhood support to get there. And then there are those of you who are struggling with building the business side of things. You know, maybe you've got the wellness industry know-how and a pile of amazing recipes, but in order to be truly successful, you need to know how to do things like automate a sales process so that you can attract new orders even when you're asleep. That's the online shop. Or you could be a clean living guru already and want to nurture your inner entrepreneur so you can run a thriving wellness business. I understand the challenges and frustrations you face, and wherever you are on this journey, the Primalista license is designed to easily advance you from where you are now to where you want to be, so that you can make a tangible impact and live the life you've been dreaming of. And based on the survey results, it looks like the majority of today's audience is such a great fit. So many of you, about 30%, said that following your passion to make a difference is the most important motivator for seeking career change. 20% would like to be more flexible in how you use your time and energy. And let's see here. So being your own boss and making money went head to head at about 20% for obstacles. Oh, now this is interesting. It looks like many of you are feeling weighed down by lack of know-how, and that's leading to fear and doubt and uncertainty. Perhaps you're unsure of where to even begin. Well, that's what this info session is for and what I want to be helping with you with today. So I'm looking at these survey results and gosh, I can relate to that feeling of struggle and burnout. The feeling of living small and not living into my true potential and just being disconnected overall with the work I was doing in the world. I mean, I remember waking up some mornings with a feeling of dread because the job I was in just wasn't aligned with my values. I wasn't using my passion for a purpose. I wanted to explore my passions and use my skills to live my best life and help others. I used to be just like you. So let me tell you a little bit more about my journey because I really hope it's going to inspire you and offer some golden nuggets for you to apply to your own journey. So let's go. I've tried all my life to be healthy. I followed conventional wisdom around what it took to be healthy, and that included eating a low-fat, high-carbohydrate diet, who can relate, doing masses of exercise, and not placing any emphasis on rest and recovery. As a kid, I was always making and selling stuff at school, like pom-poms, rosewater perfume, friendship bracelets, pop song lyrics, and scrunchies. Hey, they've made a comeback. I also had a club on the go as well to bring people together. There was the nature club, the police club where we'd try and solve mysteries in the neighborhood, and the tiger club where we collected pictures of tigers, and the stone club where we collected random stones. My passion for health and wellness led me to start teaching aerobics from the young age of 14 and to go on to be the most successful personal trainer at a 5-star health club. My female clients always told me that their goals were to lose weight and tone up. There was never any emphasis on food or mood or food and lifestyle or chronic illness. I got a degree in leisure studies, but left the industry due to the unsociable hours. It seems like even back at age 23, lifestyle was important to me. I got a job as a recruiter, helping accounting support women find jobs. And I saw how hard it was for them to find a job that would fit around the kids, or how they'd have to take a step back after a time out of the industry raising a family. In my decade as a recruiter, I never saw that nirvana job with 10 weeks annual leave and school hours. I really feel that this is an amazing time for us women to create our own businesses that suit us and say, see you later to the patriarchal bricks and mortar businesses that just don't suit women at all. After having my 2 babies, I found myself in a total hole of a health crisis. 25 years of low-fat, grain-filled eating and burning the candle at both ends had taken its toll. Here's my shopping list of awfulness. Can you relate to any of these symptoms? I turned to a primal lifestyle in a desperate attempt to reset my health, which involved ditching grains, industrial seed oils, sugars, and placing more emphasis on things like sunshine, time in nature, sleep, and connection. I was amazed by how much better I felt in such a short space of time and was compelled to reach out to share this knowledge with other women to let them know they weren't on their own on their health journey and they too could reclaim their health and feel awesome with some minor diet and lifestyle tweaks. So I qualified as a primal health coach and started working one-on-one with clients. I even ran group health coaching programs too, but I got kickback. My clients told me they loved how they felt eating plants and animals, but they found it hard to keep up. They were time poor. They found themselves reaching for the takeaway menu when it got hard. They missed bread. They missed pizza night. And making everything from scratch just wasn't sustainable in the long term. So I offered to make food for them. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't an overnight success. There were literally about 3 people who said, okay, I'll buy something, when I nervously put it out there on Facebook. I took what I'd learned as a health coach, created primal alternatives to the foods my clients longed for, and I effectively used social media to blast my message to more people because it was easy to do it from behind my phone. Feedback from my customers was amazing. My products were making their lives easier and helping them stick to a clean living way of life. So they were losing kilos, overcoming debilitating chronic health issues, taking their health back, getting their life back, having more time, freedom, and achieving goals they never thought were possible. But don't just take my word for it. Let's listen to a review from Alex Stewart from Low Tox Life.
Hi, my name's Alex Stewart, founder of Low Tox Life and author of a book by the same name. I just want to say a couple of little things about the beautiful community of bakers and cooks that Helen has created through Primal Alternatives. So many parents that I speak to, their sticking point is the overwhelm of trying to make everything from scratch. And then the expense of charging their pantries full of all the different ingredients that they need just to make a simple loaf of bread that is highly nourishing and nutrient dense. So for me, Primal Alternative meets that need for the busy modern parents who have a few things going on. Maybe you're living in a city and maybe you're both working, whatever that might be. It just means you can actually still get incredible food for your family without having to make it all yourself, which even I love a good outsource. I'm absolutely comfortable to admit that. And then the other thing is when I'm traveling around doing talking tours. Just last week in Perth, I had for the second time the wonderful Tanya from Primal Alternative. She was our caterer of choice there as our Primal Alternative or Primalistas all around Australia. And it's just so wonderful to be able to bring the low tox community into a space, to have a beautiful chat about all the things that I want to support in terms of their goals, but to also know that the food we're offering is really good food, whereas often it used to be really hard and you'd end up with like the Nest Cafe and the Arnott's tin at the council kind of library, and it would just be so embarrassing and off brand. So I really love now being able to tap into the local Primalista in that part of Australia and know that we're going to get great food for our events.
Thank you, Alex. What an awesome testimonial that is. Now, you only need to look at some of the reviews on the website and Instagram and our Facebook page. And look, when I first started, it was about 5 products sold one-on-one. There was no fancy website, no online testimonials, shop, or collaborations with Pete Evans and Joe Witten. And these resources are available to anyone looking to run a baking business from home. With our international network of local producers, it has become easier than ever to serve a large customer base, maximize your potential to help the most people possible, and make money in the process. Now, with all of these tools available, I realized, what if I combined my ancestral health expertise with the Primal Alternative recipes and worked with business and marketing experts to develop the most comprehensive baking license around? I could tap into the incredible life-transforming powers of the primal lifestyle and create a global network of primal alternative producers, arming them with the knowledge and tools they needed to be successful professionally and personally. So on Boxing Day 2016, the Primalista license was born, and now I get to hand over the reins to you. It's up to you to lead the change and transform lives using the secrets of ancestral health. And I want to stress, it's not a selfish mission at whatsoever. That's hard to say. The Primalista license sets you on the fast track to success. The recipes and resources give you the knowledge, skills, and the business blueprint to fully follow your calling and live the life of your dreams. And over 140 people have already done that, joined Primal Alternative, and embarked on a purpose-driven vocation that they love. But more on that later. The Primalista license allows us to act as the bridge between people who want to be grain-free and healthy and the food they need to make it happen. And we've developed a system that works. It's worked for me and the Primalistas, and it can work for you too. And it comes from the smartest minds in the network. It will help you get stockists and customers in both your online and in-person communities. You just have to be willing to put in the work and move past those limiting beliefs, and this system can work for you. And remember, stay with me through the entire info session because I am going to be revealing over $1,200 worth of bonuses, which is a really cool gift from me to you. And you know, I am really super excited about these bonuses because I think it's going to help a lot of you on your health journey as well, because I'm giving away my health coaching program, Set for Life and Thrive, which will inspire you to take your own health next level, freeing up your time and energy to passionately pursue your purpose. All right, so let's move on to the real meat of the info session. Like I mentioned earlier, the Primalista license has a unique 3-step approach that includes ancestral health, recipes and resources, and sisterhood support. And it all starts with the first step. Becoming an ancestral health expert doesn't mean you need to go back to college, but I'm going to share with you 3 of the core tenets of primal living that you're probably already living that have changed countless lives. And there are so many more, right? But just these 3 can have a huge impact on people's lives. Secret number 1. The clues to optimal gene expression are found in evolution. We don't have to look too far back in history to see how much, as humans, we've advanced. You can see huge progress in technology, medicine from the time you were a child to just now. But human advancement in these realms isn't the same as human evolution. We as humans have actually evolved very little since the time of our primalist ancestors, some 2.6 million years ago. The human body morphed into a pretty definitive form during the Paleolithic era. Our bodies, our body systems, and body requirements were shaped according to the dietary patterns and lifestyle behaviors of our primal ancestors. Well, so what does that mean? Well, for starters, our bodies didn't evolve to be sedentary and sit behind a desk for 8 hours a day. We were made to be on the move, hunting, gathering, sprinting from danger, running after prey, lifting heavy objects and squatting down at the river to clean up or climb trees to pick ripe fruit, traversing for miles and miles of terrain for food and fortress, and of course, enjoying leisurely time with our tribe gathered in a circle around the fire. Nice. Well, that's a far cry from the modern lifestyle, but one that we can pretty easily mimic with just a few lifestyle modifications. We've also drifted far away from our eating patterns of how our bodies were meant to thrive and up until about only 10,000 years ago, right? Grains were never a part of the human diet. And it wasn't until man domesticated animals and began tilling the land and settling down into civilization that foods like rice, wheat, and soy became staples of the human diet. This is in stark contrast to over 2 million years foraging for wild berries and veggies, spearing fish and wild game, and eating primarily a meat-based diet. There's no calorie counting or macronutrient management or eating every 2 to 4 hours to try and make your metabolism move faster. We ate when we had food, and our bodies took care of us through their primed fat burning systems during times when food was more scarce, and our bodies work exactly the same way now. Just that now, most of us aren't just working with our bodies, cutting back on grains or eliminating them altogether and eating a more primally based way of eating. So that includes a diet of pasture-raised animals, wild caught fish, organic veggies, some of those magpies outside that are making all that noise, some fruits, nuts, and seeds. So all of this takes us away from the carbohydrate dependent diet of today, right? And most people are used to eating this way, and it optimizes our genetic expression so that our bodies can operate the way they were meant to as fat burning efficient machines. Now, offering homemade primal alternatives to the foods people love will help differentiate you from other food businesses and get your customers the wellness outcomes they want. Secret number 2, the less sugar you consume in your lifetime, the better off you'll be. That sugar is a life sucker, it's not a big reveal, is it, right? But I'm not talking about popular culprits like high fructose corn syrup, sugary desserts, fizzy drinks, juices. You know to stay away from those already, right? I'm talking about carbohydrates, which are really just sugar in disguise, okay? So every type of carbohydrate you eat is converted into a simple sugar called glucose in the body. So all the bread, pasta, cereal, potatoes, rice, fruit, dessert, lollies, pies, cakes, fizzy drinks, all of that stuff that you eat and drink eventually winds up as the same thing, glucose. And it can be quite toxic in excessive amounts. Now, the body has evolved an elegant way of getting excess glucose out of the bloodstream. In your pancreas, very quickly releases insulin, which is a peptide hormone that anchors glucose into your muscle and liver cells. But here's the catch. Once those cells are full, which they almost always are with inactive people, the rest of the glucose is converted into fat, saturated fat. Now, insulin was one of the first hormones to evolve, and living things millions and hundreds of millions of years ago, virtually all animals secrete insulin as a means of storing excess nutrients. And it makes perfect sense that in a world where food was often scarce or non-existent for long periods of time, that our bodies would become so incredibly efficient. How ironic is it, though, that it's not fat that gets stored as fat, it's sugar. Here's what most people don't know. There's no essential requirement for carbohydrate. If we go back 10,000 years or more, we find that our ancestors had very little access to sugar or carbs at all, for that matter. Yes, there was some fruit here and there and a few berries, roots, and shoots, but essentially that was it. In fact, some paleoanthropologists suggest that our ancestors consumed, on average, only about 80 grams of carbs a day. And yeah, by the way, it was locked in a very tight fibrous matrix when you think about roots and shoots. So the effect on raising insulin was minimal. Compare that 80 grams to the 350 to 600 grams of carbs a day in the current typical Australian, UK, or American diet. The irony of all of this, though, right, and this is the hard bit, is that we're hardwired to crave sugar. So when you crave sugar, whether it's a cookie or as a carb-loaded breakfast cereal, you keep on craving it. And then you gain weight from it. And it's not just a personal defect. You're built this way. You're hardwired from birth this way. But the good news is that you can hack your DNA blueprint by eating and exercising primally and transition from a sugar burner to a fat burning beast. And when you do this, hunger no longer runs your life. Hunger no longer dictates your next meal. You're no longer a slave to the sugar roller coaster. Everything falls into place when you rely on fat for fuel. Now I realize that for most people, cutting out sugar and bread and pizza and cookies and pastries is a huge ask. But that's why we've developed a range of delicious and nutritious alternatives to make this transition as seamless and simple as possible. And when your customers have experienced it, there's no going back. Secret number 3, exercise is ineffective for weight management. Now, this key concept seems to be the trickiest to get people on board with, and I certainly would have fallen off my chair at the mere suggestion of this back in my gym days. Just goes against modern psychology. We love to work beyond capacity and make things more difficult and labor intensive than they need to be. The common objection is, but if I spend an hour at the highest intensity on the Stairmaster, I'm bound to lose weight. They just can't stop, and it doesn't seem to matter that they don't get the results they want. Just walk into any gym and you'll see overweight people or people with stubborn belly fat running their legs to exhaustion on the treadmill and religiously adhering to that calories in, calories out paradigm. Chronic cardio is still the ruling law of the gym, and it's holding so many people back from weight loss and optimal health. And it's keeping us locked into that defeating carb dependent cycle as well. How else can we refuel after hours and hours every day of cardio? We jump off the treadmill and then we face plant into a huge plate of pasta because we feel we've earned it and because our body is screaming out for the sugary load. But here's the truth. You can't exercise your way out of a bad diet. 20% of the weight loss success people experience will come from the exercise program they do. But 80% of body composition is determined by the foods you eat. So the quickest hack to optimal health is with nutrition, and Primal Alternative makes that easier and deprivation-free. Humans hate deprivation. Willpower is finite. It runs out. That's why the key to long-lasting health and vitality comes from a diet that's delicious, nutritious, and deprivation-free. So look, I've just scratched the surface here in terms of a primal lifestyle, but essentially all you need to know is that humans do best on a diet of plants and animals. They hate deprivation. Modern day humans are also time poor. So we need to find solutions that allow for convenience. Now, the Primalista website is where all of the recipes and resources are. And I'm going to give you a sneak peek into each one of these so you can get a sense of what it's really like. So what do you get with the recipes and resources? Well, I just created this little behind the scenes peek at what you get with your Primalista license. So at the bottom of the website, you'll see a little section here where you click onto Primalista login. So you get your own login and your own unique password to get access to the recipes and resources. So in the getting started section, you really find here all you need to know to be, all the tools are here to be a Primalista. So we've got a logo that you can download to use on your emails or your social media or your invoices. We've got all of the information and links through to tutorials to set up your email on your phone and computer, because if you're like me and the majority of the Primalistas, technical things aren't really our thing. So we've got some good support there. So the Primalista Resource Bank is growing all the time. In here, there's some sales and marketing advice. There's a link through to over 500 professionally taken pictures of the Primalistas and the products. There is some information on how to post on Facebook. Some of your own personal development work around your why do you want to be a Primalista, and how to attract the right fit stockists and customers. There's a link through to the Primalista Google Drive where you'll find PDFs to all of our labels, as well as the pricing guidelines. The Primalista Target Stockist spreadsheet, which all Primalistas keep up to date as a way of communicating, so we don't, step on each other's toes, because nobody wants to do that. There's an amazing stockist agreement, which I've had written by a wonderful solicitor. And it basically outlines the relationship between you and your stockist, how to deal with problems, how to market our products, how to deal with any problems, so that you can be really clear with your stockist and have a better relationship and get paid on time, right? There is a letter for the environmental health officer, as well as a food safety program, which is just so great. I'm so proud of it. A food recall plan in the odd event that you will need to do a food recall. We've only ever had to do 2 so far. What happens when you get complaints? Where do you get your insurance from? How to apply for a food business registration, as well as our food safety program. I'll have a quick click through to the food safety program, because this is a really awesome document that I've put together with food tech, and had all of the lab reports done. So it just shows our best before. It acknowledges all the different food safety programs, all the food acts and the different things across the different states. It gives your environmental health officer an idea of our process and how we plan on storing them. And most importantly, the risk category as low. So it goes through all of those. It talks about our process flow, so that the environmental health officer knows that we are handling food safely, and also really good information for you as well. An idea of a kitchen floor plan, Paleo Town, that's where I like to live. So you see, it's pretty cool. Hey, I'm super proud of this, and I really hope that this will help you get your food safety business over the line with your environmental health officer. So we've got all of our lab tests in there as well, which is very cool. Okay, so I'll come out of there and go back into there, I think. Oh, no,
I didn't want to go there, but anyway, I'm here now. Hang on a sec. So this is a different page on the website, the secret recipes page. So this is the bread page. You get a video which is shot in my kitchen of me preparing the very easy to prepare products. Simply measure, mix and bake, as well as a link through. Obviously you can't click that because that's top secret. Click through to the recipes, which you can, just log on electronically each time or print them off. It's up to you. And then we've got our pizza bases. Hurry up, internet. Cookies. Pastries. Seasonal, so we do fruit mince pies and hot cross buns, and they're good, let me tell you. Packet mixes and jellies, which is really cool as well. So, hang on a tick. I have to say, we're back here again. I have to say, I'm so proud of what I've produced. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging or anything, but there is no way that you would be able to do this all from scratch yourself for $5,000. There's a lot of things that I've been able to do because we're a collective. There's things that I wouldn't have been able to do as a solopreneur, such as lab testing, having a website, hosting an online shop. It just would not be viable on your own. So back to the resources, because I'm sure you'll agree, there's a lot in here, right? Seriously, you don't feel overwhelmed because at the end of the day, all you need to do is to bake the products and sell them. But if you want to know how to deal with online shop orders, you can find out here, as well as how to do the right invoices to get paid on time, how to dispatch them properly so that your customer doesn't get a box of mold, how to deal with wholesale orders, how to deal with your local stockists and how to approach them. And there's a stockists agreement. Let me show you the print at home brochure, because this is wonderful. So you don't need to go and get, really expensive brochures printed. You can just print this off at home, and it's got everything in here. So it's been professionally graphically designed, obviously, with the professional photos. So it's got the wholesale price, the retail price, the shelf life, ingredients, who it's suitable for, the target market, nutrition information panels, barcodes, packet mix barcodes. So all of the things in here that are really going to help your stockist decide on whether they want to make an order with you. I mean, how professional is this? How proud and organized would you feel going into a shop armed with this? We also have objection handling answers, because you will get objections. People will say, it's too expensive. I don't have anywhere to store your products. Why does it have to be in a fridge? All of that kind of thing. So there is, in the marketing, there's some advice on how to handle things like that. You get all of the supplier information. So you don't get any of the supplies from me, because that would involve double postage. So I've estimated that it would cost about $1,800 in all the stuff that you need to start your business. A lot of that big chunk is coming out for your food business registration. But as you can see, other than the tins and the pizza trays, most of the other stuff's just stuff you've probably already got at home, or that you can get from accessible places like Kmart and Spotlight. And you can do bits at a time. You don't need to nip out and get everything at once. You also don't need to bake everything at once, because let's face it, we have got an amazing extensive range that appeals to a lot of different niche markets now. So I've broken this down into different ranges. So we've got an original range, a low carb range, a vegan range, the best selling range, I know where I'd start, or an easy range, just choosing the products that you enjoy making the most, really. So ordering ingredients, we have put together an amazing supplier comparison spreadsheet so you can work out who the best supplier is for you. There is an amazing ingredients calculator. So if you get an order for like 5 fruit toast, 10 no-nut hemp bread, and 15 quirky cooking, macadamia, and currant shortbread, how much almond meal do you need? Well, the ingredients calculator will let you know. We also have a profit spreadsheet, so you can work out your exact profit margin if you are a spreadsheet inclined Primalista, and pricing guidelines as well, so you know exactly what to charge for wholesale and retail pricing. Our packaging, so all of our bags are biodegradable cellophane, which we are very proud about, and we have a preferred supplier for those bags. Our labels, you can click through to our graphic designer to order labels or get them printed yourself at your local printer. We have a collaborative brand agreement with Quirky Cooking and Pete Evans, and all the information on here is how to do that. There's advice on where to sell your produce, so as well as your target, setting up a market stall. So how do you do that? Where do you get this from? What boxes do you use? Do you give out samples? All of that kind of thing. Primal Alternative attends a lot of large events now, such as the Nutrition Summit, the Gut Summits, the Wellness Summits, the Wellness Base Camps, Low Carb Down Under, all of those sorts of events. And this gives you an idea of how to do it and what to expect. What do you do if somebody complains about your business? And what do you do to get support as a Primalista? How cool is that? There's a link through here to all of our labels, which are amazing. I'm super proud of those. And of course, to the Primalista Facebook group, which is the place to come for all of your questions, celebrating success, and of course, supporting other Primalistas.
What?
So what?
No, but don't just take my word for it. Let's hear from Linda.
Hi, Primalista Linda from Victoria. Joined Primal Alternative in August last year. I'm a functional nutrition health coach. So for me, this is more of a platform to start up my retirement business and lead me to my target market. Conversations and connections I'm making through Primal Alternative products is phenomenal.
So, are you starting to get a feel for how this works? I hope so, because, just looking at that Primalista behind the scenes, I mean, I took that video about 6 months ago, and even now, we've got much better videos, we've got new products, we've added heaps to the resources bank, and it's only the Primalista license that gives you the recipes and resources to become a clean living food producer, business owner, and you have that beautiful support of the Primalista sisterhood. So, right, I've been doing a lot of talking here. So what's been your biggest takeaway so far? Maybe you like the sound of having your own business or taking a deep dive into real clean living. Or maybe you love the idea that you're going to be able to create a business that serves you and fits in around your lifestyle. So let me know what you think in the comments in the chat box. Okay, so I have walked you through a 3-step approach for becoming a successful entrepreneur. Oh, hang on a minute. Let's hear this wonderful review.
Primal Alternative won the cookie prize and are delicious. They are so amazing. They are absolutely delicious. Yum. And they actually taste healthy. You know what I mean? Like they're naughty, but they're healthy. Yeah. Thank you.
One of my favorites. Okay, right. So as I was saying, I have walked you through our 3-step approach for becoming a successful entrepreneur in the grain-free ancestral health world. And maybe you're thinking, blimey, sure H, that sounds great, but how can I fit this in when I've got a full-time job? Or how can I be sure I'll actually get customers? Or I'm actually still working on my own health journey. Why would people possibly listen to me? There's so many reasons why people might be stopping themselves from pursuing a career as a Primalista. And I definitely want you to check out my No Excuses video if you haven't already. So, they may feel like this is a calling or like a longing to help others. And chances are they know they're good at baking, and helping and guiding others is a skill that just comes naturally to them. They've got a passion for health and wellness, but they get tripped up on concerns like, well, I don't know enough, or I'm not an expert in nutrition. I don't have a qualification in catering. I don't know how to start a business or market myself. And I hear a lot of people deal with what's often called the imposter syndrome. They think they've got to be perfect before they can put themselves out there in the health and wellness space. They say things like, but who'd want to buy from me? I don't have the perfect body. I still need to lose those last 5 kilos. Sure. And then there are the more practical concerns like, how do I start a Primalista business when I work in a full-time job? I'll never make as much as a Primalista as I do in my current career, or I don't have enough money to pay for the Primalista license, let alone the capital for the equipment to start my own business. What am I going to do? And then there are the myths to bust through, like there aren't enough people looking for this kind of product in my area, which is just not true, because more and more people are becoming so disillusioned with conventional medicine and turning to food as medicine. Another common myth is that people don't have or are unwilling to spend money on primal alternative products. Well, we know that's not true. People are growing more and more upset with the modern medical paradigm and their hefty premiums and deductibles, insurance company charges, and so they're just willing to spend the money on alternative health modalities because people pay for what they value. And our customers value real food, homemade from scratch, because it means they don't have to do it all. They're sick and tired and overwhelmed. They are both busy parents working full-time, raising a family and trying to get better. They want to spend time cooking food the family will love and eat, but it's just too hard. Or they'll start off well, but run out of willpower and resort to their old ways and feel like crap. They're willing to spend the money on real food made from scratch because they value it. It makes their lives easier so they can spend their time in other meaningful ways, such as hanging out with family, relaxing, or just catching up on life. If you have a passion for delicious food, nutrition, and overall wellness, and you've been dabbling with the idea of becoming a Primalista for a while, now is the time, simply because the primal alternative business is experiencing such accelerated growth. In fact, we've got more demand than we can cope with, and we've only just scratched the surface in terms of who we can serve.
These are amazing. They taste exactly like sour gummies.
There is no other grain-free food company with an international reach endorsed by industry leaders such as Joe Witten, Chef Pete Evans, Cindy O'Meara, Alex Stewart from Low Tox Life, Kirsty Worth from Cultured Wellness, and the rest of the crew. Primalistas really are at the forefront. This growing field shows no signs of slowing, especially as the low-carb real food movement trends and the failure of the Western medical establishment to provide adequate resources for disease prevention. I know from my own personal experience and my time as a health coach that people are fed up. The average patient-doctor interaction is just about 7 minutes, and definitely not enough time to get to the root cause of a health issue. The tendency is to make a diagnosis and then apply a quick fix, such as prescriptions or over-the-counter medications to mask the condition. And did you know that 70% of healthcare costs are from preventable diseases? That is so crazy. But it opens up a wealth of opportunity for Primalistas, because not only are people looking for more low-carb, real food alternatives, but they're looking for ready-made options. Convenience without compromise. People are asking their local shops to stock Primal Alternative, which means more stockists and wholesale opportunities with farmers markets, health food shops, cafes, independent grocers across the country. And you know that with 15,000 towns, cities and villages in just Australia alone, can you comprehend how many distribution outlets there are for Primal Alternative? The Primalista license is foolproof because we deliver a comprehensive business model to get you into the health and wellness industry. But you don't have to invest in a startup business or a 2 to 4 year uni program. You technically can be baking and earning within a week of getting your license, council permitting. No need to reinvent the wheel because all of the hard work has been done for you. And there's no denying that the ancestral health, paleo, primal, low carb world is one of the most influential lifestyles in the world today. And it shows no signs of slowing. But look, this Primalista license is not for everyone. It's for those of you who are motivated and driven, who want to pursue your passion and become a successful entrepreneur in the world of the wellness industry. And I'm going to show you how you can do it in 6 months or less. So why become a Primalista? Well, the Primalista, I'll give you a few reasons. The Primalista license takes you from where you are now to where you want. This license is designed to take you from real food enthusiast to food producer and successful change maker. You'll learn the recipes, the sales and marketing and business skills to produce and sell the Primal Alternative range, making grain-free easy for your customers so you can help people live long, happy and healthier lives. You'll also get the skills you need to put yourself out there and promote yourself on social media. You'll learn how to approach retailers and make a sale and overcome objections. A Primalista community will help you leverage accountability, maintain healthy boundaries, and celebrate success with you. We'll give you all of the necessary tools and resources to get your business running. And I'm sure you know that success as a Primalista comes so much easier when you're backed by a recognized brand. Okay. The Primalista license, with its collaborative brand agreements with the respected Quirky Cooking and Pete Evans brands, offers a ready-made network of customers and stockists looking to purchase Primal Alternative products. We make you part of the Primalista network as soon as you get your food business registration and insurance by featuring you in the Primalista directory. You'll be listed alongside your Primalista sisters and have the opportunity to share your personal contact details with potential customers as a way to help generate sales. Your credential as a licensed Primalista lends credibility and confidence to your food business. And like I said before, we're a sisterhood. We want you to succeed and we'll do everything we can to support you with all the Primal Alternative know-how, community support, and backup for you if you need to take a break from baking due to holidays, sickness, or family obligations. So what do you need to do now? Well, I'd like to start by inviting you to apply for an interview with me. Okay. Now, I've promised that if you invest in a Primalista license, we'll give you an unmatched Primal Alternative business model and show you how to build, run, and market your business so you can finally share your gifts with the world and help others reclaim health. And to that end, I'd like to extend a very special offer to you. Until March the 27th, you will receive a discount on your Primalista license, bringing the cost of joining down to $5,500. And that's a saving of $250 if you pay up front or $110 if you go on the payment plan. Now, I know we have gone through a lot today. So let's take a minute to review what's included in the cost of the Primalista license. Now, where's all these bonuses come from? Because that's not all. I want to tell you about the bonuses. Okay, so here's that $1,200 worth of bonuses that's just jumped in as a slide I wasn't expecting. So you get Thrive, which is my 21-day clean living journey, which is valued at $197. Set for Life, which is my 6-week transformational experience valued at $660, an organic fair trade apron with your name and state embroidered on it, which is worth $100, a silicone spatula, which is perfect for spreading those pizza bases, valued at $10. You'll get my Aligning for Success, which is an emotional freedom technique course designed for Primalistas, as well as a one-on-one coaching session with me valued at $220. And that's over $1,200 worth of bonuses, which you get access to once you're a Primalista. And those are available until March 27, 2020. So from the 1st of April 2020, the Primalista license will be $5,750 plus $110 monthly membership. So back to where I thought we would be. What do you get when you become a Primalista? What is involved with the license? Well, you basically get a successful business model ready to roll. As well as the trade secret recipes, you'll gain access to a Primalista only website with how-to videos, Food Standard Australia and New Zealand compliant labels worth over $5,000, including authentic barcodes, which are worth over $800 a year. You'll get done for you graphic designed logos and marketing material worth over $2,000. You'll get supplier, packaging and equipment information, ingredients calculator, advice on how to register as a food business, as well as pricing and wholesale, retail and recommended retail price. You'll get to use the Primal Alternative website, which is hosted with an online shop with orders that you can fill, which is valued at over $10,000 worth of value. In addition to the core business model, you're also going to receive access to the Primalista private community of fellow home bakers who are there to support and encourage you on your journey. You'll be added to the Primalista directory, and that exposure alone is valued at $500, which is constant ongoing advertising for you, providing you more visibility to you and your business and generating orders. Many of our Primalistas have said that the ongoing support from the Primalista community alone is worth the cost of the license. And that's a total of over $23,000 in resources. The $23,000 is the sort of investment you would be looking at if you started from scratch. Not to mention the collaborations with Pete and Joe, which are truly priceless. And just as a secret, to date, I have invested over $300,000 in developing the Primal Alternative brand. So when you compare that to the $5,000 it is to get started, that's in Australian dollars, plus GST, so $5,500, it is a brilliant discount compared to the value that's inside the Primalista license for you. All you need to do to take advantage of this offer is to click through to primalalternative.com/apply and have a one-on-one. It's basically a business strategy session where we can look at your what and your why and see if this is a good match. And when you do that, the savings and bonuses will automatically be applied. And I want each and every one of you potential Primalistas here today to get in on that special price because it is going up from the 1st of April. So I'm only making it available to them. And you know, that is an incentive because as humans, we all need encouragement to jump off that fence, act now, and not put our dreams on hold. I feel it really is such a fantastic offer, and I hope that everyone listening gets to take advantage of it. Now, I would love to take some time to answer specific questions. So if you do have any questions, please pop them in the chat box and I will get around to them for you. Now, while you do that, I would love to show you a time lapse of Primalista Shalisa making our fat and seedy bread. So one of the questions I get asked quite a lot is, are the recipes hard? And the answer is no, because if they were hard, I'd need to hire proper bakers and chefs with proper catering experience, and this model would not be scalable or replicable. So let's watch Shalisa. It's on a time lapse. She's not a robot. So she's putting the zucchini into the Thermomix. Thermomix not essential. And she's adding the nuts and the seeds. She's making fat and seedy bread. And the eggs, bicarb and salt, because that's all that goes into that lovely clean loaf of bread. Gives it a little mix. Pours it into tins. Adds poppy seeds. And that's it, into the oven. So I say it takes about 10 minutes to make 2 loaves, but really it takes about 3. So there we go. So another question I get is, how do you get the pizzas so round? Well, we spread them out on the pizza tin, which you will get a link to buy those tins. We all use the same tins. We have a discount from a preferred supplier, and you literally just spread them out. No throwing them in the air, no getting your bench all messy. Super easy. Another question that's very popular is, how many loaves of bread do I need to bake to earn a living as a Primalista? Well, this example is based on selling 10 of each of these products at wholesale price and 10 at retail price. So that would be direct at like a market or to your friends. And this would take about 10 hours of preparation time, so time at the bowl, like you just saw Shalisa. It might take you more time, it might take you less time, and your profit margin may be higher because I base all of the profit margins on what it costs to get ingredients to me, and I'm 6 hours south of Perth. So the Primalista takes full responsibility for a personal business development, and Primal Alternative doesn't make any earnings guarantees. This is just an example. But I reckon that to make, for this to take 10 hours of baking, you're going to earn $655.30 as profit to you. So that's taking out the ingredients and the bags and the labels, right? Because this actual order would be worth over $1,300 in terms of actual revenue. So you can see it's about half if you do a mix to wholesale and a mix to retail, which is what most Primalistas do. So hopefully that helps with your question. And if you want to dial in a bit deeper to the Primalista pricing model, here it is. I really have nothing to hide. Here you go. So let's look at a loaf of fat and seedy bread. So cost to produce, so that's the ingredients, the bag and the label, costs $6.64. That's for me, right? But for a Primalista in Victoria, it costs $5.16, which is $1.48 less to make, which means more profit for her. Now, if I sold that directly at a market, I would make just under $10 a loaf. My sister in Victoria would be earning just under $12 a loaf, and you get the general gist. You might want to take a screenshot of this and come back to it. The other thing I can tell you about pricing is that we are going to be increasing our prices by a minimal percent, because the prices have actually gone down since I launched the brand. But there is definitely room to increase the profit for Primalistas and make the business even more viable, which is pretty exciting. Let's listen to a review from Debbie.
My name's Debbie. I've come to the Wellness Summit for 2018. I found these products as I was walking around. I took 2 of them hesitantly because I've been spiking my sugar level. I'm sitting down at this Wellness Summit. I was able to eat the biscuits out of the pack. I've had the fruit bread and I've had the seeded bread. Not one of them has spiked my insulin level. I can prove to you that it's sitting at 7.5, which is where it should be sitting at. Thank you so much to Primal Alternative for giving me something that I can finally have to eat.
So do you want my honest 2 cents worth while you're here? You might as well. The Primalista license isn't a magic bullet. There are plenty of people who've joined Primal Alternative and not made a go of it or even started. Some Primalistas have been slow burners and others have exploded into their business quickly. The key is you got to take action. Personally, for me, I believe in taking imperfect action. Not all Primalistas have watched every single how-to video or used every single resource, but they just take what they needed at the time. And because you get Primalista lifetime access, you just go back to it. It works when you take action on the business optimization tips that I share. These include having a rock solid why, a business vision, having set baking days, and having healthy boundaries. I was making $500 a week profit baking 10 hours a week with one tiny market and 5 stockists. I had 5 products and no Pete Evans or Joe Witten. If you do that much, you'll make the investment back in just 10 weeks of production. This model is here for you to create a business that serves you. That's why it's down to you to make this work. You'll make the money back quickly if you set the intention that you will. You'll find things you really suck at, and the ego doesn't like feeling like it sucks at anything. It will quickly look around for people to blame and point the finger at. But the key point here is that humans can transform. We can adapt, we can grow and learn new skills. It's not about survival of the fittest or the strongest, it's survival of the most adaptable. So maybe you'll find some stuff that you're not that great at yet. And when we add the yet, there is an air of possibility of great new things. The Primalista Primal Alternative Network alone is worth way more than the $5,000 price tag. I've gotten more like-minded friends, clients, mentors, and joint venture partners than any other business I've done before. And I worked in corporate for 10 years. This is pretty important for being successful because you must be surrounded by like-minded people focused on success. And I'm not talking about the amazing Primalista community, but I'm also talking about our extended community of stockists, raving customers, brand ambassadors, market stall buddies, and wellness industry leaders. I've had so much fun at Primal Alternative events and got to meet and be friends with people I never in my wildest dreams imagined I would ever meet. Dollar for dollar, the Primalista license can be the best financial return on investment you ever make in business. It might feel like a big investment now, but $5,000 in the grand scheme of starting your business from scratch will feel like a drop in the pond down the track. When you consider how much work goes into developing a brand, you're saving so much time, blood, sweat, and tears in not having to reinvent the wheel. Plus, with the $1,200 worth of bonuses and the savings and the 12-month payment plan, the Primalista license is the best and most accessible ever. And you know that, yes, there are some mums and there's some health coaches and nutritionists and naturopaths, scientists, pharmacists in the Primalista community, but it's much more diverse, so diverse. There are kid-free women, there are empty nesters, full-time workers, bookkeepers, beekeepers. Yes, it's a large community of over 90 Primalistas, but it's not scary or intimidating. In fact, it's super friendly. But if you lurk and you never post in the group, you won't get much out of it. I'll be your best cheerleader. I'm so passionate about Primal Alternative. I've recovered from my own illness and built Primal Alternative from nothing. I'm the real deal. I'm not a corporate. It's not a multi-level marketing system. It's just a real mum from the south coast of WA trying to make a difference in the world. There are only 2 intakes for Australian Primalistas this year, so don't kid yourself that you're going to wait until next year. How important are your business and your lifestyle goals? How quickly do you want to change and grow? Think how much progress you can make in the next 12 months if you don't put this off now. How are you going to manifest the money? Sell something. Sell some stuff in your garage or do a sale for something from your business. Look at where you can cut back. This is an investment in your future business. The payment plan is 12 payments of only $440 a month. If you're working now, can you reduce your hours and have your current job become the investor in your Primal Alternative business? How to convince your partner or your husband. Tell him that it was a big leap of faith for us all at the same time too. And the Primalista license has helped over 100 women step into their very own home business and create a lifestyle that suits them. And if that doesn't work, buy them some cookies. But you know, as funny as that sounds, only you know if this is right for you. I'm not here to talk you into anything. I'm just here to provide as much information as I can for you to decide what you want to do. I've got zero attachment to the outcome of any offers that I make to Primalistas, and I 100% trust that the universe has got my back and that only the best fit Primalistas will come to Primal Alternative. So who decides if this is the right decision or the wrong decision? Everyone's got an opinion. This has worked for me and it's worked for others, and it can work for you, but it also might not work. What are the consequences of that? I dare say that an investment of $5,000 won't leave you homeless. And I also think that this experience has much more depth and richness to offer than just a means to make money. I believe that you will learn and grow and contribute and have new experiences from this. As Warwick, Primalista Kyra's husband, said, you'd pay $5,000 for a business course and then still have to come up with a business once you've done the course. Kyra then became the first Primalista outside of WA to join me. What a leap of faith that was. And that was when the business was just 5 recipes and a few labels and a community of 3. And we've just celebrated her 3rd Primiversary. So the key thing is, how do you feel? How does this resonate? Is it making your head buzz with possibility? Because there's always going to be people, there's always going to be naysayers, but I think it's worth it. And I think you're worth it. But what do you think? How do you feel? So as one of my closing points to you today is, there is no nirvana time, right? There's not going to be any more time or money in a few months' time. You will need to redesign your week to accommodate starting a business. There's no such thing as ready. There's only now. And you're probably going to think that your local food regulation officer is awful and that your kitchen won't pass, because that's what everyone thinks. So if this is making your head buzz with possibility and it feels good, then I invite you to apply for an interview with me, primalalternative.com/apply. And I look forward to connecting with you soon. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it.